The Republic of Congo and Rwanda have signed 2 memorandums of understanding and a concession agreement in the agricultural sector. The agreements were part of a series signed during the just concluded 3-day state visit of the Rwandan President Paul Kagame to Brazzaville. Congo will reportedly grant Rwanda 12,000 hectares of exploitable land in at least 3 departments in the south of the country. However, the duration of the concession has not been specified. Congo has 10 to 12 million hectares of arable land, of which less than 5% is used for food crops. The agricultural deal is part of 8 agreements signed for the widening and deepening of cooperation, according to a statement issued on Tuesday in Brazzaville. Other agreements cover investment protection, mining, management of economic entities, and the strengthening of cultural ties. Rwanda and Congo enjoy cordial bilateral relations. Their growth of bilateral ties is evidenced by 2021 agreements to remove double taxation and visa requirements to ease trade between both countries. They also signed agreements regarding military, education, and land management at the time. Ivorian Prime Minister Patrick Achi and his government have resigned from office. At the cabinet meeting on Wednesday, the Prime Minister said his decision to resign followed the intentions by the President to reshuffle the government. President Alassane Ouattara at the meeting accepted the resignation of the government, saying he would proceed next week to appoint a new Prime Minister. Ouattara added that the new Prime Minister will propose a trimmed-down government of about 30 members. The resigning cabinet is currently made up of 41 members. The Ivorian president paid tribute to his resigning prime minister. He praised Mr. Achi for demonstrating commitment and determination despite the particular conditions linked to the COVID pandemic and a complex regional security context. 66-year-old Achi was appointed last April after the death of his predecessor Hamid Bakayoko from cancer the previous month. Mr. Bakayoko had himself succeeded Amadou Coulibaly, who died in July 2020. At least 28 teenagers have drowned after their boat capsized in northwestern Nigeria when they were trying to cross a river to fetch firewood on Tuesday evening. Regional government official Aliyu Dantani has said most of the dead were girls after emergency workers and volunteers retrieved their bodies from River Shagari in Sokoto State. 5 children were also reported among the dead. The boat was said to be carrying an unspecified number of passengers, and search is still ongoing, according to Dantani. The cause of the accident was not clear, but boat mishaps are common on Nigerian waterways, mostly due to overcrowding, particularly in the annual rainy season. Late last month, 13 people fleeing a raid on their village by criminal gangs drowned when their canoe capsized in central Niger State, according to emergency services. And in May 2021, scores of people died after an overloaded boat capsized in the northwestern Nigerian state of Kebbi. There were around 180 passengers on board.
Approximately 4,800 people have fled their homes in central Nigeria following the deadly attacks last Sunday, according to a government spokesperson. Groups of gunmen on motorcycles overran 5 villages of Plateau State, shooting people in every direction and burning houses during the weekend, killing over 100 people. Nigeria's Minister of Information says these armed criminal gangs are working with Islamist extremist rebels, which have been spreading terror for the last decade in the north of the country. Acting likewise, these bandits are conducting mass abductions from schools, loot villages and kill those who resist and whose families cannot pay the ransom. Although President Muhammadu Buhari has reacted vowing no mercy for these criminals, criticism is mounting as insecurity increases. Authorities have announced the immediate sending of basic needs, such as food, water and blankets for the recent displaced.
South Africa's military chief has warned that terrorists in Mozambique must be dealt with before the problem spreads further afield. Rudzani Mathwana was speaking in Pretoria following Tuesday's agreement to expand the Southern African Development Community's mission in Mozambique.
Some forces met strong resistance from the terrorists but were able to inflict fatal casualties and disrupt arsenal activities, as well as continue to dominate and pursue the terrorists in the operational area. We strongly believe that if we do not curb the scourge of terrorism and nip it in the bud whilst it's still on the other side, eventually it will affect the entire region.
The military chief reiterated that the mission's role was changing to one of peacekeeping and that the joint forces will remain in Mozambique until terrorism is eradicated from the area and security restored.
We must create conditions for the people of Mozambique to start picking up where things that fall between the cracks and start going on with their lives. So governance aspects must also be strengthened, because the problem cannot be resolved purely by means of the military.
Since 2017, the insurgency in Mozambique has been blamed for more than 3,000 deaths, with more than 800,000 people displaced and more than 1 million in need of food aid, according to the United Nations World Food Programme.